Hi there, I'm Alex Wu, one of the team leader of Team 11 Skateboard Rightfoot. I also worked as a front-end developer for the team. I help with building the man page and the drawcard page. I'm proud of my work for building the local storage system to store the drawcard result and implementing the audio playing function. In the future, I believe I'm still immature as a software engineer, and I need to get more practice on how to use all the tools we've used.
Hello, this is Angelia Zhang. In our group project, I participated in the construction of the welcome page and the card selection page. Together with our teammates, we completed with the CSS and HTML files for those two pages to modify the website like this. So, as well as the shuffle function to rearrange the card every time the page loading.
Hi guys, I'm Kathy. I'm the front-end developer in our team. Basically, what I have done is to design the homepage and the drawcard page according to our designer's idea. And what I'm proud of is that I have never get attached to website design before, but after this class, I learned like the CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, and finally designed the website. What I should improve on is to be a good communicator and to manage my time better in the future.
Hi, my name is Harish Vasanth, and I'm one of the backend developers for Team 11, and my main task was to build the interpretation backend. On top of the interpretation backend, I also worked on integrating the interpretation with the card selection and ensuring that those components work seamlessly, as well as other general bug fixes across the repository, both on front end and back end. In addition, I worked on the CI/CD pipeline and helped in the initial stages try to figure out what exactly we needed, like for the linting and that type of thing. The thing I'm by far most proud of, the task that I'm by far the most proud of achieving is the interpretation backend, especially with the number of moving components, namely with how I interact with local storage when I insert an item or remove an item, as well as ensuring that certain like unwanted behaviors don't occur, such as, for instance, you reload the page and an audio clip plays when it shouldn't, because that's specifically a transition from the card selection page. So that kind of thing made it overall very an interesting project to tackle. The biggest thing I feel like I can improve on is generally creating issues before I solve them and having a clearer picture of what I'm working on before I start working, since sometimes I would kind of get a bit too ahead of myself.
Hello, my name is Thanh Diễm Nguyễn. As a front-end developer for our project, I created HTML and CSS for the interpretation page, ensuring the visual consistency. I'm proud of the dynamic card flipping animation I developed and the unique sound effects I added to enhance user engagement. In the future, I want to focus on receiving feedback to improve my work in team and my work for the project. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Sophia. As a designer, I was in charge of helping develop what our website would look like, the overall flow. After that, I was in charge of JS docs and getting that integrated. Finally, I helped with cleaning up the website in the last week or two, making sure that the styling and overall flow all worked out and there were no flaws. One thing that I am proud of is the design of the cards used with Hotpot.ai, and I was able to generate 22 completely unique cards for our tarot reading. Two things I would like to improve on. One, to keep updated individually with each member. That way, when there is an issue, I'm able to help. And second one, being able to learn and understand new tools quicker to save time, but that will take practice.
Hi, I'm Hunter, and I was part of the design team. So I designed with Sophia a bunch of the website. And then after that was all done, I also went into the testing team, and I did most of the end-to-end tests for the website. Most proud of, I would probably be most proud of my tests because they were very difficult to get working, and a lot of updates would keep breaking them, and so I would continually have to go back and make sure that they were all functional. And for the future, I would like to improve my skills with JavaScript because I'm still not too comfortable with it in general. Thank you.
During this project, I developed a feature which displays a random recipe from the pool of 100 based on users' card selection. This involves storing a JSON file, implementing a custom recipe element using Shadow DOM, and writing test codes to ensure its smooth functioning. I also learned skills about Git management, CI/CD, and team communication, and handling pull requests, all of which I believe will be valuable in the future projects.
Hi, my name is Vincent. I was working on the pipeline mostly and helping with debugging. I'm most proud of actually getting the linter to work because it was really impossible and I couldn't do it. Something I felt could have been improved was reading documentation because it was impossible to, but it's whatever.
My name is Jennifer, and I'm a team lead and backend developer. My main task was to work on generating the recipe after you get your fortune, but I also worked on the CI/CD pipeline. So I'm really proud of the pipeline, but for the team, I'm really proud of how hard we worked together and like made our project in the end. As for improvements for the website, I would want to add some more animations and transitions between pages, and maybe have a mobile version. For me personally, I feel like I could improve upon my communication and leadership, since being a team lead made me realize that communication is really constant, so it'd be constantly improved. So after this class, I hope to continue to work toward that.
Hi, so for this part, I'll be introducing the how to access our repo and how to make changes and how our CI/CD pipelines work. Firstly, under tests, there's a test we set up for our project and will be implemented in the CI/CD pipeline. And under admins, there's something like loosely related to our project, including our team branding, the CI/CD pipeline recording, meeting minutes, team contracts, and the video, and so on. Under file coverage and JSDocs, there's a configuration and setting up for the coverage test and JSDoc setting up. Then under outs, there's the output of the JSDoc. So our after we updating the after we edit our documentations, it will be automatically updated to this out file after the building process. And the sources is where we're actually implementing our project. So this including the HTML page we created for the project and CSS files for styling, all the other scripts. We're also including the assets like the image we use, the audio we use, and the and the other resource we designed. So under space, there's some other things related to our team, like our trying out for the Magic 8 board. Also, we have our ADRs recorded under this page. We also have the code review and our brainstorming ideas stored under this page. Yeah, and this is our readme.md. So we can just go directly to our build application using this link. We can also find the dependencies, the documentations, and other credits for our project. Then I'll show how to make addition to the process to our project. Firstly, we need to create a new branches, which I will demonstrate in the GitHub desktop, which is kind of an easy way. Let me just create a branch called what should I call it? Just video presentation. Yeah, and all the changes will be made under this file. So I'll probably just making something under like MISC since I don't really want to actually go into our code and mess up something to mess up our project. Yeah. Let me just create a new file called test.md and just putting some random stuff. Then we can just go back to the GitHub homepage and commit to our branch. Then we need to publish the branch, and yeah, this process can also be done through the Git bash by doing the checkout by setting up the branch and check out the branch. Yeah. Then after we commit our changes, we need to create a pull request. So yeah. Then create test.md with the comments. This is for the presentation. Then, after committing the video presentation, we'll have our CI/CD pipeline running, like including building JS docs, Node.js, and like the JS Node.js testing, the superlinter thing, and the coverage testing working. Yeah. So after all the tests passed and the JS doc being built, this merge is still blocked because we still need another member from our team to review our code and actually prove this pull request. Then we can merge this branch into our main branch. Also, after this process, what we normally do is just deleting this branch, so that to keep our project kind of clean. If we are no longer working on this branch, we just delete it since everything's merged into our main.
I think for the most part, we kept it pretty consistent with Agile as well. I think our project was consistent with Agile for the most part. I do think at times, for me, I would forget to create like an issue every time I would make an update to a feature, and that's a kind of a minor thing because for the most part, it was clearly defined. I do think we did a good job of having clearly defined sprint goals, sprint timelines. We also did a good job of having retrospectives and actually reviewing our like past progress and all of that. I do think those sprint review meetings and such were done well. That being said, I do also think that we sometimes would be a little bit off about keeping things in a single source of truth, where we would like mention things on Slack and maybe not necessarily put it on GitHub. But for the most part, that wasn't an issue, and I do think overall we did a good job of actually adhering to Agile for the most part. The biggest challenge was definitely that integration process, namely with working with local storage, ensuring that the data was consistent, was being transmitted properly between the pages, as well as ensuring that like I would only clear the local storage in very specific cases.
For the CI/CD pipeline, most of our problems came from not knowing how to implement parts of it. So like with the linter, nobody knew what they were doing, and it kind of caused a lot of problems because we were just copying pasting code from the middle of nowhere into the GitHub workflow folder, and it kind of we wasted a lot of time doing that. So yeah.
After introducing the problem we've met, I would also like to talk about some future expectation we have for this project. So we've tried really hard to implement an autoplay audio function to the page. However, we didn't make it successfully because this would involve a lot of thing about the browser setting and the user setting, and it's really hard to guarantee this function would work for every user. So in the future, if there's another team to take up our project, I would really love them to fix this issue for us.
In addition, I would say that the biggest thing I would want to improve upon would be to further polish the backend and maybe add potentially more features to kind of flesh out the interpretation more, and potentially organize the code a little bit better. But overall, I'm very proud of what I was able to do with the interpretation backend.